What? Who are you? Mom, I thought you told me never to talk to strangers.
Like I said before, Jimmy, please be nice to your new stepfather.
Okay, rich guy. I love it that you're twice as old as my grandfather and you're fat and bald.
That's enough! I've had it with you, you little brat!
You've upset your mother. I've got half a mind to beat you.
Half a mind is right. Suddenly he realizes.
I can't believe you, you little monster. We'll deal with you when we get back from our honeymoon. Next year.
Here we are, boy. Bullworth Academy. Have fun, Jimmy. I'll think of you from our cruise ship.
Whatever.
To win 100 victories in 100 battles is not the acme of skill. To subdue the enemy without fighting is the acme of skill. That was Sun Tzu from his book, The Art of War. Chapter 3.3, Attack by Stratagem. This is your host, Ryu, the Tireless Warrior. Yeah, I said it. And this is Streetfighter Storytime. I can't remember at any time that either my dad, Evil Goken, or my absentee mother, Evil Cammy, who I lived with for almost 2 years, ever told me that they loved me. Not even once, although I was a loving and caring boy myself. When I lived with Evil Cammy, she used to ask me for money all the time, even asking my supervisor to release my paycheck to her on a number of occasions with my permission. Now, my supervisor did put a stop to that for my own sake, but even then, she still asked for money from her abandoned son that paid rent to her on time every time. She would wake me up for coffee each morning, and we would talk before I went off to work. We would speak of her past, her present, her hobbies, her interests, her opinions, her hopes for the future, and her dreams. Although, that is, until I got back from work one day, and the car that I had paid the title tax for, and the insurance fees to, that she was to sign over to me were gone. The house also was empty, and there was left nothing of the furnishings of her home, nor the former life of the place, except for a single pan that was full of a food that I can't quite remember. Do tears numb the tongue, as also they obscure the vision? Fortunately, though, it was still warm with hate. I mean love. I ended up living with and paying rent to the parent of the teenage boy that I was tutoring for free on my own time, as his grades went from C's to F when his dad was ran off by his mother, which I helped push to mostly A's and a few B's within a month of my moving in. I also worked with his mom, so that was convenient, as I was stranded in the middle of the boondocks by Evil Cammy, who my dad, Evil Goken, banged to produce myself and my twin brother. Although since my mother did LSD, or so-called acid, whilst pregnant with my twin brother and I, Ken, and I were both born prematurely and ended up being defective and hated by both of them and all of the world, which worked out great for everyone but he and I, as I am the way that I am today, and he's currently dead. Oh, and shout out to codename Nemesisy. I don't care if you make me look perverted in front of everyone, including Evil Goken's current wife, as I stopped talking to them before contacting you anyway. And if you even try to destroy me legally, I'll unleash the full power of nothingness on you, so hard and so fast that you'll think that an earthquake is occurring while simultaneously the sky is falling. Do you hear me? Anyway, Decapre, or Evil Cammy, went off to start a new and better family, which is when my dad, Evil Goken, started treating me like dirt, even at the age of 2.5, which my twin brother Ken, my second youngest brother Guile, the original favorite, and later the new favorite child, my youngest brother, and my adopted sister, were of course exempted from, perhaps because they weren't as aggressive as I am, nor yet were they defective. Being that this is the remastered version of this upload, I'm going to add a few things, and hopefully I'll not have the same issues as I did before. My absentee mother Decapre is currently in the dollhouse, that is to say prison, for killing a man with the smoking gun that is her metaphorical cannon kick. I'm not surprised that as a woman, her addictions and personal wants were more valuable than a retired business owner's very life, but only because he was a man. Much like myself, he was born with a big floppy one, and so he was created guilty before being charged and until proven otherwise. Now, while I was living with Decapre, I ended up teaching her a large number of self-defense techniques, as she was, not yet ironically, a security guard at the local jailhouse. Thanks to the wonders of affirmative action, that is, and most likely nothing more. Oh, well, aside from the fact that her husband was currently a guard there himself, he actually went on to become a sheriff, and I think he got he ended up getting fired. No doubt some woman pointing the finger at him. But yeah, he was just a fat guy. He was like, you know, husband number 3 or something like that. She had like 8 kids, so it was whatever. But I just thought it was funny because he was real chumpy. Okay, so yeah, she probably got it through affirmative action. You know, black people, women, everybody but Caucasian men gets it, so I wouldn't be surprised. Thus, my own interests in fighting and self-defense techniques, and not just my money, were of some use to her for a time. I taught her a multi-directional kneeing method, as found in Muay Thai and other lesser-known styles, which utilize the sidestepping knee, or foxtail as it's sometimes called. I also taught her the wrist lock throw that's found in a martial art called Aikido. And Aikido is essentially a weak-down version of Bagua Zhang. Bagua Zhang being a Chinese internal martial art. And the foundation of Aikido is mostly the external art of Aki Jiu-Jitsu. The internal methodology and power, though, are markedly those of the internal martial art of Bagua Zhang. I've provided a hyperlink to the account of one of Morihei Yushiba's former students to account for this, and he clearly illustrates and evidences this perspective. Anyway, she ended up, Decapre that is, ended up using one of the wrist lock throws that I had shown her to defend herself against an inmate's attack on her, after which, like all women, she thought herself to be a super ninja. She also learned from me her lift combination, which is a low round kick followed by a body uppercut, that she no doubt has been practicing on various lesbians in prison, along with her modified versions of the spiral arrow, which is an upward side kick, and of course her metaphorical and perhaps even literal cannon kick, which is what landed her in jail in the first place, as she killed a man with it. Now, I am your host, Ryu, the Tireless Warrior, and this is Streetfighter Storytime. Dikāpuri, as some know you, or Mom, as I know you. Transforming speed into power is very powerful and effective. That way of fighting suits you well, but you must defeat my Shoryuken to stand a chance.
Hey Commander, can you unplug me? Just for a minute, I need some privacy. Headset off and stretch your neck out. Down the rocks to her head's safe house. Yeah, I remember it all. Bleed and shut out my calls. The air was so dusty, her armor getting rusty. She found thoughts she never had. Her young ones were just as bad as you inside. I feel like a lady. Things apart, cold, rugged, waiting. I can't believe that you lied, that you know where to find me. Can't get the feelings in, I really thought it cost me. Drops in her goggles aren't of love. Something's really wrong and it feels awful. Even though her body is back to normal, she once was a villain and it's hiding in her soul. I don't wanna know what she did. She's not who I am. At least that's what I thought. Now I'm second guessing. I can't put my gun down. My suit's getting heavy. Something wants to be released. Something dark inside me. Dark familiarity. Something dark inside of me. Dark familiarity. Something dark inside of me. Dark familiarity. Something dark inside of me. Dark familiarity. She opened her eyes and watched the ruins. Thought of her life and a love to lose. She shook Cadillacs, they want her back soon. The wound so long because it scares and few. Sure she can fight, but she's getting vision. So her unspeakable and personal retake. She couldn't lose her breath till it goes like this. You rescued her once, now it's your turn to save him. I can't believe that you know that you know where to find me. Drops in her goggles aren't of love. Something's really wrong and it feels awful. Yeah, I remember it all. Bleed and shut out my calls. The air was so dusty, her armor getting rusty. She found thoughts she never had. Her young ones were just as bad. She rinsed out a weapon. I don't wanna know what she did. She's not who I am. At least that's what I thought. Now I'm second guessing. I can't put my gun down. My suit's getting heavy. Something wants to be released. Something dark inside. Drops in her goggles aren't of love. Something's really wrong and it feels awful. My body's back to normal.
Oh yeah, as an aside, I got her prison number and I may yet send her a letter, just to let you know.